The film begins after the ending of the first film with Art the Clown returning to life in the morgue and cutting the medical examiner's throat. He then pops out the examiner's eye in order to replace the one he lost and also seemingly takes the examiner's brain to replace his own lost brain matter. Afterward, Art goes to a laundromat and sees a worker sleeping in a chair. Art then undresses and tosses his outfit to the washing machine. At that point, he sees visions of a little clown girl named the Little Pale Girl who curiously walks up to Art and starts playing with him. The worker then suddenly wakes up and sees Art playing with thin air. A while after, Art leaves the laundromat, slaughtering the worker with an spearing mop handle through his head. The film then jumps to almost a year later as Halloween again approaches. We see a teenage girl named Sienna is making her own Halloween costume in her candle-decorated bedroom. The costume is of an angel warrior, which includes a pair of wings and a sword. It was a character created by her late cartoonist father, who recently passed away from a brain tumor. During dinner with her family, Sienna tells her mother Barbara that her younger brother Jonathan is planning to dress as infamous serial killer Art the Clown. Barbara then forbids him from doing so. After dinner, Sienna talks to her mother about Jonathan's state of mind and his fascination with serial killers. While upstairs, Jonathan is researching previous year's killing incident involving the Art Clown. Later that night, Sienna has a dream where she's on a film set shooting commercials for a clown cafe and a cereal owned by Art. He then begins entertaining everyone there by handing out candies. When it's Sienna's turn, Art gives her a box filled with soup with a disgusting beating heart and worms inside. Art then takes out a submachine gun and kills all the other actors on set and then burns the remaining guest with a flamethrower. When she awakens, she finds her room on fire. So she rushes out of the room and calls her mother. Barbara then comes in with a fire extinguisher. Later, she scolds her for keeping the candle lit when she went to bed. After her mother leaves, Sienna walks up to her room and finds a sword that her father gave her is unharmed. Meanwhile, Art the Clown and the little clown girl is watching a talk show interviewing Vicky, the sole survivor from the first movie whose face is now horribly disfigured. Another morning, the entire school is talking about Vicky's assault on the talk show host, how she maimed the host with her bare hands right after the live interview. Sienna has a panic attack upon hearing of what happened with Vicky and she is comforted by her companions Brooke and Allie. Meanwhile at his school, Jonathan catches two other kids messing with the body of an dead opossum. Afterward, Jonathan finds Art in the school passage playing with the same opossum carcass. But this time, Jonathan too can see the little pale girl. Art at that point throws the opossum at Jonathan. Terrified, Jonathan runs until he comes across a teacher, who afterward blames him for bringing the dead opossum into the school and reports him to Barbara. After school, Sienna goes to a Halloween store to purchase a new pair of wings for Halloween night. There, she finds the clown Art. Although the clown unnerves her, he has no intrigue in murdering her. After Sienna takes off, Art locks the entryway and mutilates and murders the store clerk. He then uses the clerk's severed head as a Halloween decoration. A while later, Sienna returns home where she learns that Jonathan is in inconvenience for the opossum incident. The siblings talk and Jonathan confides that Art was the one who framed him. Though, Sienna claims not to believe him despite of her own encounters with Art. She asks her brother why he's obsessed with the clown. Jonathan then reveals that he has his father's old sketchbook and shows it to Sienna. They see that their father sketched out scenes from the first film, a picture of Art, and the warrior angel holding Art's severed head. Sienna first denies to accept their father anticipated Art's entry, but afterward tells their mother that she believes Jonathan's story that he didn't bring the opossum body into the school. Sienna then takes a shower and puts on her outfit of the angel warrior. Though Barbara shows a little disappointment at how revealing the outfit is, but she admits that it's well made and would have made her father glad. Sienna then goes to a club to meet Brooke and Allie. Meanwhile, in the other side of the story, Allie is giving out trick-or-treat candy while her parents are out. Then Art stops by and asks for some candy, promises to go away if she gives him candy, which she does. Despite his promise, Art afterward breaks into the house and assaults Allie. He brutally slices her body, including cutting open her back and scalping her. Afterward, when Allie's mother returns home, she finds Allie still barely lively and Art giggling over her skinned body. Then we see that Art beheaded the mother and is using her head as a bowl to hand out Halloween candy to trick-or-treaters. At the club, Sienna is introduced to Brooke's boyfriend. Then they get some drinks and dance, enjoying their time. In the meantime, Barbara gets into a fight with Jonathan over the opossum incident and his obsession with Art the Clown. Out of anger, Barbara tears up the dad's sketchbook and slaps Jonathan after he calls her a bitch. Jonathan at that point runs out of the house, but only after seemingly messing up the family car, covering it with toilet paper, crushed pumpkins, eggs, and shaving cream. After seeing what Jonathan has done, Barbara gets angry and calls Sienna, but Sienna tries to defend her brother. Barbara moreover warns Sienna from drinking alcohol, which Sienna eventually does. Sienna then expresses her veritable love for her mother, which calms Barbara down. While out walking, Jonathan sees the little pale girl and terrified, runs back home. Meanwhile, Barbara starts cleaning trash from the car. As she wipes away some shaving cream, she is surprised by Art sitting inside the car. The clown shoots her in the confront with a sawed-off shotgun, slaughtering her right away. When Jonathan arrives home, he finds Art feeding squashed potatoes to Barbara's body. Terrified, he escapes, but Art catches and drugs him to thump him out. Art then leaves the house with Jonathan, but also takes Sienna's sword along with him. In the meantime, Sienna and Brooke both are drunk and enjoying the party. Then Brooke tells Sienna that she slipped some Molly into Sienna's drink, in hopes of helping Sienna release up. As the women dance, Sienna sees the little pale girl in the crowd and has an anxious breakdown. Brooke and her boyfriend drag Sienna out of the club and into his car. As they drive Sienna home, she gets a call from the little pale girl imitating Jonathan. The little pale girl, imitating as Jonathan, claims that he's been caught at the deserted old carnival and needs her help to pick him to home. The trio then arrive at the old carnival and Sienna tries to call him back, but as there's no network, she goes to find Jonathan. Meanwhile, Brooke tells her boyfriend that Sienna and Jonathan's father had a brain tumor, became insane and abusive, and eventually passed on in a red-hot car crash. The pair at that point do drugs and make out in the car. In the meantime, little pale girl texts Sienna from Jonathan's phone, telling her to find Jonathan in the haunted funhouse ride called the Terrifier. Brooke's boyfriend then goes outside to take a pee and is assaulted by Art, who tears off his privates. Brooke escapes somehow, with Art in near pursuit her back. She screams and asks help from Sienna, but Art chases her to the Terrifier funhouse and brutally beats, disfigures and slaughters her with a bat he attached sharp objects to. Later, Sienna finds Brooke's body before she as well is confronted by Art. Then Jonathan, who since regained consciousness, moreover shows up. Sienna tells him to run as Art beats her up. Afterward, the siblings somehow oversee to get away and are stalked by Art through the funhouse. He incurs a lot of harm on both, including whipping both of them until their backs bleed. They do their best to fight him back, including wounding him in the head and shooting him with his own sawed-off shotgun. However, Art never stays down for long no matter what they do. Eventually, he manages to thump out Jonathan and after that cut Sienna with the sword. He tosses Sienna's body into a pit, where she all of a sudden shows up at the clown cafe from her dreams. There, Sienna is caught in a water tank and in the long run loses consciousness. Art then tosses the sword aside and approaches to Jonathan. As Sienna's about to pass on, her sword starts gleaming and heals her wounds. She recaptures consciousness and breaks out of the water tank. She at that point escapes the clown cafe reality and arrives back at the Terrifier funhouse. She gets the sword that Art discarded and finds him eating her unconscious brother. She violently attacks, taking Art by shock. In the long run, Sienna decapitates the evil clown as shown in her father's sketchbook. The siblings grasp, heavily injured and traumatized but lively and triumphant. To their surprise, the little pale girl shows up. The little pale girl then picks up Art's head and walks away rather than attacking the siblings. The siblings then leave the Terrifier funhouse to get help as the credits roll. Mid-credits scene, Vicky is still in the mental hospital as the orderlies celebrate Halloween. In the night, Vicky wakes up and starts bleeding lavishly from her privates. Vicky then uses the blood to paint on the wall, Vicky plus Art, inside of a heart. She at that point supernaturally becomes pregnant and within minutes starts giving birth to decapitated head of Art. When one of the orderlies checks on her, they are shocked to see the scene. The head is clearly lively and grins as the orderly screams. So, that's the end of our movie. If you've come this far, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe my channel. See you later.